Welcome everyone to the Acrylic Asylum. I'm Mike Ferris, and in this video I'll be showing you how I paint this mystical lady. So make sure you stay tuned to the end so you don't miss any details I'll be going over step by step. And check out the description box below for a list of colors and materials. So I have an 11 by 14 inch pre-stretched canvas and two papers that are 8.5 by 11 inches taped seam to seam and cut to my canvas size, and I use 1-inch squares to lay out the face proportionately. So now I've taken a stylus and some wax transfer paper, and I did put a video link in the description box, about 3 minutes long, and just shows more of how to transfer images, so check that out if you need more info on that. So now starting off on my palette, I have raw umber, I have burnt umber, violet, and some titanium white. So with my number 10 flat brush now, I'm going to mix up some raw umber and a touch of this violet together, and I'm going to start going on the sides of the head and blocking in color. So without cleaning, now some burnt umber this time and some violet to that and some titanium white to bring that up, and with this I'm going to block in with this value. So now on my palette I've added some permanent black, and I want to put just a little bit of this in the mix now and go kind of on the outside for some darker. So now I'm going to take some violet now and titanium white and raw umber and more violet this time, and as you can see it's going to be this lavender hue right here in the center. And as I come into those brown values, I want to apply less pressure on my brush and just sort of dust those in and blend those together. Okay, and now raw umber and burnt umber together, and just a touch of that permanent black, and with that I want to go on the outside again. And now back to our violet now with no cleaning necessary, a little bit of white, and notice I'm taking a lot of that paint off my brush. I just want a little bit of it, and I want to dry brush that in. That helps to blend everything together. Okay, now more titanium white and no cleaning necessary yet. I just want to brighten this up, and I want to start where I want it the brightest. And as I go out, I'm just going to apply less pressure on my brush. As you can see, it's dusting out and naturally giving this light transition happening. Now picking up raw umber and burnt umber together, and gonna apply this value and block some more stuff in. And now I'm just applying just a little bit of titanium white within that same mix of raw and burnt umbers. Now picking up some of this violet color after wiping some color off my brush, and right underneath the nose there's going to be this reflective violet color right here. And with that value on my brush, some of it right here as well. And also some streaking light with that same color as well down the bridge of the nose, and also on the front of the nose as well, like so. So now I've added some primary red, and I want to add some of that to this violet. And with this color, I want to take and change the value of this lavender hue, and right up here above the eye just a little bit. So now with a clean brush, I'm taking raw and burnt umber, and again with that value, just going to go in and block in some more stuff. So no cleaning necessary again, and now taking violet and some burnt umber and some titanium white a little bit. And with this lighter value now, I want to go into the eye area like so. So now I've got on my palette some Phthalo Blue and Phthalo Green, so now I'm going to pick up some of this violet and add a touch of Phthalo Blue to that, and some titanium white, just a little bit. I want this really dark lavender more to the blue side, and with this I want to come in now and fill in the eyeball, or the pupil, like so. And we're going to mess with the eyes quite a bit, but for now this is just going to be a base color for now. Okay, so with a clean brush now, I've got Phthalo Green and Phthalo Blue together, and a little bit of titanium white. This is a really light turquoise color, as you can see there. And I want to take now and fill that into the eye, and I don't want to cover up all that dark violet color underneath. I want to leave some of it there. But for the most part, I'm going to start playing with these colors and adding values in, and like I said, we're going to build these eyes up to make them look really stunning and just kind of glowed and really mystical like. So with hardly any paint left on my brush, I took just some titanium white without cleaning and just a teeny bit of paint, and I'm dry brushing that on. I'm almost like sort of glazing that over a little bit. So now with a clean brush, I'm going into violet and a little Phthalo Blue, and most of that off my brush because I want to put titanium white into there for a very light color. And underneath the nose again, I want to make this more vibrant, reflective lavender color. With that value on my brush still, I'm going to go into this reddish value that I put up here earlier and not cover all of it up, but just a little bit in there like so. And now with raw umber, burnt umber, and some of this lavender, or I'm sorry, violet, and now some white, I'm going to come in here now and just apply some of this. Okay, now some raw umber, permanent black, and just a little bit of color on my brush, and I want to do just some darker shadowed areas across the bridge of the nose, kind of like so. And also down the side, and give the separation and definition of the nose a little bit. Okay, now some permanent black and a little bit of raw umber in there, and right here I want to create some dimension on the face. Okay, now without cleaning my brush, I'm going into some violet now and titanium white, and with this brighter lavender hue, I want to just block in some stuff around the mouth here where there's going to be this glowing lavender light that's reflecting off of her face due to this crystal ball that we're going to put in here. So notice I'm not bringing the color all the way down into the chin because part of it goes into that crystal ball, and I want the color of the crystal ball to be on that part of the chin there, making it look transparent. So now I'm just picking up some black and some raw umber now, and I want to define some of these shadow edges around the nose to help define and pop out of there. Okay, so now some violet and some burnt umber and a little bit of titanium white to bring that lighter. And I want to go back now into the forehead area, and same method, I want to apply it in the brightest area first and then blend it out using less pressure on my brush as it gets out into the darker values. Okay, no cleaning yet, and more titanium white and same method. So now picking up raw and burnt umber again, and with these values I'm going to dust those lightly back over this lighter stuff on the outsides here and just make this light transition a little bit more natural. So now going back to my raw and burnt umber with a clean brush now and some titanium white to brighten it up, I want to use this color now and I want to hit some more of this highlight stuff. Now going into this burnt umber and some of this violet with some titanium white and just a little color on my brush. I'm wiping most of it off and gonna dry brush some of the cheek on the left here. Now going into some titanium white with just a tiny bit of this violet, and I want this really light violet color, and just the tip of my number 10 flat brush you can see there, I'm just dabbing on just what appears to be some freckles and some skin texture. Now just going to dab that value over in some highlight areas and give more texture. And with that color left on my brush, a little bit down here on the mouth area. Now picking up some titanium white and some violet and just a touch of this burnt umber to that. And with this light lavender color here, I'm going to go in on the eyes just right underneath like so and scratch that value right here. So now with the edge of my number 10 flat now with some permanent black, I'm going to come in here and make this distinct line that shows where the eyelid will be. And now taking raw and burnt umber now and just a little bit of that color and titanium white to lighten it up. And this will be for the actual eyelid itself. So after defining the eyes a little bit there with some dark value, now I'm taking burnt umber and some white now, and with this light brown color I want to go in there now and play this value in a little bit. And again I want to dust it into those other values by applying very little pressure with my brush. And up here as well by the eyebrows. And I forgot to mention on the eyebrows, you know, when this is a dark canvas already, you only need to apply a little bit of these brown values into that color just a little bit, and in this way it makes it look like the eyebrows have the hairs that you can see like so. So now I'm just taking pure titanium white, and with this color I'm going to go in and just hit some of these striking edges and some of these bright highlights that really make the face pop out and really makes it shine and gives it more dimension. And with that white left on my brush, again, I want to come in here on the eyes and I just want to sort of glaze that in a little bit. I don't want to cover everything up, but I do want to brighten these up a little bit more. Okay, and now for the lips. Let's take some of this violet, a little bit of titanium white, a touch of permanent black to that, and more titanium white to bring it up again. And with this, let's block in the lips with this color. So now just picking up more violet by itself and going back in. Now without cleaning, picking up permanent black and just on the edges of the mouth like so. I just kind of want to make these vignette shadows that go around it, and in this way it's going to pop out this vibrant color and really build these lips up, making them look very full when they're done. Okay, so now going into permanent black again, and this time with my script liner brush. I got lots of water on it. Very important to put lots of water on a script liner brush, and I'm twirling it to a point, and I'm just gonna streak in these eyelashes like so. Now these are eyelashes, so that means that you can put them pretty much however. There's no right or wrong. Just kind of make them generally going sort of the same direction, and you just kind of streak them in like so. And of course, the harder you push down on your script liner, the thicker the lines will be. So if you want to come to a point, you would have to apply less pressure and more or less just drag just the very tip of it to bring it to that point at the end you see there. So that's what I'm doing here. So you can do this, or you can use the edge of like a number 2 flat brush if you're more comfortable with that, but I like the script liner for this. Okay, now just with the edge of my number 10 flat brush now and just titanium white, I want to hit some of these direct highlights and lights that's zinging off her face here and there. Now going into Phthalo Blue and some violet to that and some titanium white. I want to make this royal light blue color, and to that I want to add that to the lips right in front like so. This is going to show some reflective light and build up some of the fullness of the lips. And now with that color on my brush, I'm going to go right underneath the mouth like so, and down in the chin area here, and this is going to be some reflective light that'll be showing on the face. And now more titanium white without cleaning, and as you can see, it brightened it up a little bit more, and I just wanted to add more brightness to this. And more titanium white on my brush now, and I'm going to go in here and make this little edge that shows separation where the light's striking. And now picking up more violet now and more phthalo blue. No titanium white, and I want to go under here with this and create this little bit of a dark shadow underneath the lips like so. And now with more titanium white into that mix, as you can see it's lighter, I want to go in now and start to really build the fullness of the mouth up a little bit now. And so now a little bit more permanent black, and notice I'm just hitting the edges here and really bringing out the definition of the lips a little bit, and then over here as well just a little bit more. Okay, now with the clean brush, just pure titanium white, let's make these lips zing and shine. So just the top right here where direct light is striking, and also right in the front like so. And now picking up more phthalo blue into that violet, and let's add that reflective light right back in here like so, and then add titanium white to that color and brighten up the chin area. Okay, so now I have on here some ultramarine blue, and with that I'm going to mix that with some violet now and take titanium white to that. And this will be the start of some of the hair. So with a clean brush now, going in my umbers, my raw and my burnt umber there, and I'm going to block in for the hand down here. Okay, now going back into the trio of colors, the white, the violet, and burnt umber, and with that, that's going to be for some of the nails on the hands. And with no cleaning necessary, just picking up titanium white now for some direct highlights. So now back to our hair color now, but more titanium white, that's ultramarine blue and violet. And with more white, you can see the value difference here. And we want it lighter like so. And especially down towards where the crystal ball is going to be, I want even brighter highlights there in the hair, because that's going to show, of course, more light hitting in the direct area there and bringing more of this glow into the picture. Okay, now picking up more ultramarine blue into that mixture and more titanium white. And again, changing the values. You can see there now we have more of it to the blue side. So just play these values however you want. You can put more blue wherever or more lavender wherever you want. It's really your call. I would say just put brighter highlights, like again down towards the crystal ball area where there's going to be more light illuminating. So right down here now I want to fill in this lavender color like so, and just kind of fill in the rest of this area. Okay, now more titanium white, and in the chin area again I want to brighten this up. Now taking some Phthalo Green and Phthalo Blue and some titanium white to make this light turquoise color, and as you can see, this is going to be what I use to block in now for this crystal ball now. Now with a clean brush, going back into our hair color, that's ultramarine blue, this violet, some of this white, and I want to fill this in, and see right here I want to define the chin now. And this is why I didn't want to fill it in before, because I want the chin the color of that crystal ball to make it look like it's transparent. And so I'm going to fill this area now with that, defining that chin as you see. So now with that turquoise color again, Phthalo Green, Phthalo Blue, and some white, I want the hair going through this crystal ball to be that crystal ball color, just like the chin. And again, that adds the transparency to this. Okay, with most of that color off my brush now, just picking up titanium white, and I'm going to go into the crystal ball now and brighten it up. Okay, with that white color now on my brush, again, gonna go into the eyes and again brighten those up. Okay, now picking up Phthalo Green and Phthalo Blue with some of that titanium white involved, and I want to add some of this color in and not cover up all that eye. And I want some of this crystal ball reflective light in the eyes as well, and with some of that color back into the crystal ball itself. So as I fill in the crystal ball, I want to take the rest of that color on my brush. As you can see, I want to go on the outside of it now and create this glowing effect that's going outside the crystal ball and lighting everything up. Okay, with most of that color off my brush, now just picking up titanium white, and every time I load my brush, I don't want to pick up a whole lot of paint at once because then it'll be a muddy nightmare. So when you're loading brushes, you want to always put less paint than you think you're going to need, which is usually the amount you need. And you want to work with that because you can always add more paint, but too much at once will just make it a mess and very hard to deal with. So now with that titanium white, just picking up a little bit more, and as you can see, I'm just scrubbing it in. I don't have a whole lot of paint on my brush each time I do this, and it keeps all those other colors alive and gives that transparency and really brightens things up. So now with pure titanium white and a clean brush, I want to go back in and reinforce some of these highlights. And while I'm at it with that little bit of white on my brush, I'm just going to lightly brush over some of this eye area now and brighten it up and not cover all that color up. So as you can see, it looks like there's some other color underneath that's reflecting. And so just hitting some of these highlights and reinforcing and brightening them up some more. Okay, and with just a little tiny bit of paint left on my brush, I can come in here now and brighten up the forehead and make more of a dramatic pop on this. And so with a little bit of paint, I'm able to do this without covering everything up and affecting too much while brightening everything up as well. Okay, just touching up the face with that highlight color, and now grabbing permanent black and some violet now. No titanium white, and I want to take this dark background color now and go back into the hair. And see, I can just settle some of this hair back and create some more shadows, which in turn makes more dimension. And this just makes all the other highlights pop that much more. Now picking up some more of that ultramarine blue and some violet, and now some phthalo blue this time into that, a touch of titanium white to bring it up. And as you can see, a new value now of blue. And let's put that into the hair here and there and add some more interest. Okay, now picking up permanent black and raw umber, and with this dark value I want to just apply it to some of the hand here, and in this way it helps create more of a pop effect with the highlights that are already there. Okay, now a clean brush and just pure titanium white. I want to go in here now on these direct highlights, and I want to make them as bright as I can possibly get them. Okay, and again with that white left on my brush, and I don't want to cover everything up in this eye on this color, so I just want to barely scratch some more white in, making it brighter and preserving that undercolor underneath. Okay, again with that white left on my brush, and on this eye right here on the left that I'm working on, I wanted to make the pupil a little bit larger because I thought it was too small. So as I fill these in, the cool thing with acrylics is you can just extend or knock back with any color you want, and there's never any such thing as a mistake or an accident, not even a happy one, unless you want it to remain. So that's totally up to you, and as you can see, now the pupil looks a little bit better. So now I just want to come back in with that darker color with some of that phthalo green and blue, and as you can see, I'm just going around the pupil like so, making this little edge there, and more brightening here, and just continuing to work on more of the eye. So now getting phthalo blue and phthalo green and some more titanium white, and just the outside of the eye like this, I want to add that turquoise color back in, and I just kind of want to scrape that over this white just a little like so. I know this little mundane detail doesn't seem like much, but as you can see, it really brings out this glossy sort of blurred over eye effect, and that's exactly what I was going for. Okay, with more of that titanium white on my brush, and I picked up a little bit more, I want to reinforce some of the highlights on the hands. Okay, so with my script liner brush now, lots of water and titanium white, I am signing this piece here. However, I am actually not done, because after signing I realized, you know, I want to put some more highlights and make the hair brighter down towards the crystal ball. I also want to add some more effect. So as you can see now, I'm breaking my own rules, which is that when I sign a piece, that means I'm done, but not this time. So I'm going to take some white now, and I'm going to dab in some of these little dots, and I'm even going to take an old toothbrush and dip it in water and titanium white, and I'm going to splatter some of this against there. And now with my number 10 flat on the edge of it, now with some titanium white, I'm just going to make these little actions here, and I want to brighten up this crystal ball, and I really just want to make some more interest in the eye, and like I said, add some more highlights down at the hair towards where the crystal ball is illuminating more light. Okay, so now going back in with that more vibrant phthalo blue, phthalo green, and some titanium white. You can see it's a little bit more vibrant now. I did add more phthalo green to it, and I want to reinforce the hair going through here and show some more glow happening here. Okay, so that's about it, guys. I'm going to put some highlights down, like I said, at the hair towards where the crystal ball is, and fade those up where it gets darker and away from there. But you can do anything you want here. You can settle some colors back, brighten them up, change some of the highlights, whatever you feel you want to do, but that's about it. And I want to thank you guys so much for joining and watching me, and if you found this lesson enjoyable and inspirational, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the weekly lessons I'll be putting out regularly. And if you have questions and comments, drop those down below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, guys, happy painting.